just like superhero like kind of. It's like comic book like, and I don't know. The structure of it is gonna be my own life, like the structure of like a single character, and it's actually just gonna be kind of like organic.
What's the
And
plot?
then I don't know the
What's
shit I get to make up,
what's
huh?
what's the plot? Like the what's the
The
elevator?
plot is
What's the
my
elevator pitch?
personal development. The
That
elevator pitch, I don't even have an elevator pitch. Like that's the crazy part. Like I haven't even fleshed. It's just weird. It's just been a project that's just been floating around
you
in my life and in my head.
you should
You
start
know,
there. Have an elevator pitch.
I mean, yeah. Well, my elevator pitch has been like, well, I just asked my friends, what what superpower would you want? You know, what superpower would you want if you have a superpower? And what three anime characters or superheroes would you want to be like if they were infused in one person that was gonna be you, like their powers, their attitude, everything like that. And then you said the nigga from Inuyasha, I believe, right?
Oh, you're talking about the improvatory episode?
No, well, not that, but kind of. I'm talking about the questions I ask people to develop my what the fuck? I talk about, yeah, the questions I ask people to help develop, what characters. I have them flesh out their own characters by answering these questions, basically. What powers they want, how they want to develop, how they want their person to act, and then I guess I'm gonna ask them personal battles stuff. I'm gonna get into like interviews and shit, personal battles that they've been through that I can write about that they want to kind of tell me how they've been through it, the hard parts, the easy parts, and you know we can make it uh, fiction. We can turn it into fiction, and that would be the cool part. Is kind of like you get to talk about, you get to tell your story, but semi
So
anonymously,
so
and you
it's
get to write all your favorite parts out.
so it's a fictional biography. So it's like it's your life, but you're framing it in this fictional world where it's well, obviously you have the fictional elements and everything like that, but basically, yeah, that's basically what your concept is.
It's not a crazy concept. It's
No,
just like
it's not
yeah, the
a no.
story.
Yeah,
It's more.
it's
It's
not a
less about the story. Is it more so is about how I'm gonna write these things. Like I like fight scenes. I like power
well
development
you have
and
to
shit like that.
well you can here
So
my uh my piece of information to give you, take it however you will. Every single idea or thought that you have about this project or could relate to this project or could be used in this project, write it down. Always write it
mm,
down. Whether it's in your notes in your phone or on your notebook where you're going to keep basically in a spot where you know that you can consistently keep when you have an idea just spit
mm,
fire in your head that you can quickly write it down or keep it in your head until you can write it down. So that way at least you have a basis of ideas of what you want to see go on, and then that should help you frame this world that you're trying to create. And then once you have this world framed out, then create your story. Focus on whatever character, what's their plot line, who's the main protagonist, who's the secondary, what are they going to go through, what's their life like, and then map out their A through Z. Like, yeah, you're not going to have every specific detail right then and there, but once you have point A started, point B could be immediately written next, or you sit there 2 hours later, you got an idea, then boom, point B. Write it
mm,
all the way until you
right,
feel
right.
like there's a satisfaction from beginning to end for this character that you want set in this fictional world.
Well, my character personally is gonna be a character written like Naruto or Bakugo or just kind of alone, and my life is gonna be filled with nothing but battles
Okay.
and enemies.
Okay.
For a long time
So it
up until
sounds
high
like an
school.
So it sounds like an endless battle. Is this physically or well, obviously it's physically seen, but is this more of a metaphorical sense for yourself or is this for the character?
Anything.
So in a metaphor, so say like for example, I decide to write a character. He's a lone wolf who pretty much goes through every struggle, and he's about to fight 1,000 men.
Well,
That 1,000 men
yeah.
could be is he's you can visually see him fighting them, but it could be in a metaphorical sense. It's my way of portraying myself fighting against these demons inside me, or it could be for the character him fighting all these people. He's fighting against his own philosophy, his own demons, which you as the writer can relate to the character. So it really that's
How are those things separate?
they're separate in the sense of like there is connectivity between the two, but one is a focus more on the character, and you're only putting bits and pieces of yourself into it, while the other one is like your self expression, so you can relieve something that you had held deep down into your chest. Like you're expressing yourself overall for this story, or you're just expressing a little bit of what you want the character to face for themselves. Because at that point, when you create a character, that character comes alive. So you got to create all these internal struggles that makes that character feel dynamic and relatable than a character that's just existing. For example, like there's this one anime I was just telling my friend earlier. They literally introduced him like he was going to be a like a key player into this story in episode 3, and then they killed him off 2 episodes later after giving him like you ever seen a show where there's this character that gets an episode all to themselves and
Yeah.
they immediately die at the end. That's what that was. And I'm like, bruh, really? There was no development besides that end point there. But
And
anyway,
you thought you about to be with him for the whole rest of the show.
I was like, okay, they got the third main character in there who's gonna have like he's more very nonchalant, tries to be ladies' man. All right, I get that. Dude dies 2 episodes later. Like what?
Going,
Anyway,
boy.
anyway, back to what I was saying. Just basically, anytime that you ever feel like you have an idea that can go well for your idea, write it down,
Right.
and then
I
when
have
you
notebooks and shit.
if you got plenty of notebooks, right, ain't nothing better than a pen and pencil, a paper and pencil pen, whatever hell you write with, whatever you
It's
gonna
a
write.
pen and a pencil. Right with the pen on your pencils.
Hey, if you got to get creative like that, do it.
It works. It works.
Everything works somehow. If someone is able to build a supercomputer in Minecraft, you can do anything at this
Oh
point.
my god, no! Somebody made Minecraft in Minecraft.
See, that's it's like
That's you could literally look that up and find it on
see,
YouTube. They're like they made a machine that plays literal Minecraft. You
I,
could
I
draw
I legit
bunch of
just seen
trees.
I seen someone they did a mod for Skyrim where you can order Domino's pizza in Skyrim and they'll deliver it to your door.
What?
Yeah,
What in real life?
yeah, so say like you're in playing Skyrim, you talk to like a shop merchant and it says order
Mhm.
pizza. So then you order your pizza and obviously you add whatever you're ordering, and then moments later, Domino's is at your front door saying, "Hey, I'm here for a delivery for so and so." Oh, that's me. Thank you. Like you're just on
Uh,
Skyrim ordering food.
uh,
I what's crazy is I can see that actually happening in an open world VR game or any
that
like
dude,
or any of
that
those
dude should be
MM.
making money. Like he should patent that
That's what I was
and
gonna say.
like
He should patent it, but
oh my god,
also
we should
that
patent it.
that
Fuck that. We should.
no, you can't do that.
Why not?
That's gonna cause that's a lawsuit issue right there. Like, yeah, we
If we
patented it,
patent it before they patent it,
but we're not the ones that created it, and they are,
and we
and we're
patent it, and we're yeah, we
here's
patent the idea.
that. Have you seen that She-Hulk episode, or have
There's
you
a
even watched?
She-Hulk episode on this.
Kind of. So
There's
basic,
literally a She-Hulk.
yeah,
No,
yeah. So
I did not
basic.
see it.
All right. So this is the premise of the episode. basically she's now famous as She-Hulk. Everybody loves She-Hulk. Blah blah blah. And apparently someone decides to trademark her name because she didn't, to run off of that. So she sues the person, and let's just obviously She-Hulk wins because she's been using the persona long before the trademark. So that ain't gonna work for us in regards of you saying, "Oh, let's
Or
patent it
just
before he does,"
time.
because he created it and it's well known out there. We know he's the creator of this mod.
Well,
Even if we
you gotta
try to
talk to him.
trademark or
This man
patent
needs some money.
it,
Might get this man some money.
see
You
now
know.
what I'm about to say. We could try to copyright and trademark this, but the idea with that thing that mod he just created, I feel like in the future there are going to be like MMOs and like VR games and stuff like that where you can actually, while you're in game encountering your world, you can order crap to be sent to your door. Like, all right,
Mm.
I'm at a virtual Domino's and I'm
Uh,
here to order a pizza and stuff, and
so how
I'm
about that?
paying.
How about just a world just for that?
So
Like,
basically, real life.
you
So
have it's like Sims, but it's just like a little fucking
it's
mall.
that's basically well, all right. If it's more of like the entire world is a mall and you're just there to have like a social space, I could see that
It's
as
not
like,
even social. You just turn it on just to order shit. So like, you turn it on to go
well,
to the grocery store or something. You turn it on to do all this.
yeah. I
You can
mean,
just pick all this stuff virtually.
yeah, you could do all that, but it's still like a virtual social space where you and so and so can shop with each other, and like, yeah, you're ordering in the virtual world together and talking, but it's all being delivered to your door.
If you have to cut the recording, you can't be recording this.
No, I could just
It's
cut
too
it.
good.
I can just cut it out. I can cut it out,
Yeah,
and
you gotta
then
cut this out. It's too good. It's too
on,
good.
honestly, this whole
Because
scenario, I
yes,
could turn this into a
a
story.
pitch.
Yeah, I could turn this into a story. It'd be crazy. It'd be interesting. It's be like one of those futuristic set worlds already where you can do all that stuff, and I just have
Mm-hmm.
to create the plot where it has to matter, because yeah, you got the world frame, but there got to be some sort of conflict. So now it's like, all right, what's the conflict? Like, it could be there's a virus, or it could be a serial killer personified doing some sort of thing. uh you know, that's the only part where it would take. This would be a moment where it's like, all right, I have to think about it first before I can be like, ooh, that's the idea to go for it. But yeah, that would be dope. That would be a dope concept. I got this one concept that that I was inspired by, where like uh it was based on the story that this guy said, but it's basically like being catfished. So like, imagine you're like being catfished by somebody, and you feel like they're the real person, and it turns out they're like a serial killer or something. I don't know. Just
Too many
random
things
ideas.
just turns
It's
out to catfishes. Like
catfishing is just evil.
I think it's just funny how Nev made a show about it. Neve. You familiar with the show Catfish?
Yeah, yeah, but I haven't really seen like any of this stuff.
Are you familiar with Machine Gun Kelly?
Yeah, MGK. Did he
Yeah,
get?
he was on the episode of Cat.
Oh snap! Did he got catfished?
He was on the episode. No, he was like with Neve. He was just like on the other side. He was just like doing the episode from the outside with
Oh,
Neve and shit,
oh,
looking at
he
the other
was.
two people who were getting catfished.
Oh, he was like the spectator or something like that.
Yeah.
That's funny. Is it because someone was playing as MGK, or was it
No, he was just literally just there.
he was just there?
That's
Oh,
it.
that sucked. See, I would have been that'd have been cool if he was there because someone was catfishing another by pretending that they're MGK. And then the person that's being catfished is now aware that MGK is now doing that. Is like not the person that they're talking to. So those two try to find out who that person is that's
That would
doing the
kind of be like,
catfishing.
I don't know, but that would just
That
that
would
would
be
be a weird
cool.
scenario where the person who
See, I would watch that.
catfished, I don't know, like, the person who did that, right?
What?
They would get opportunity to actually meet MGK. Is that like allowed? Like, should we just pretend to catfish celebrities and they just come anyway? Like, I don't think we should do that. It's just,
What, catfish
it's
celebrities?
no, it's reinforcing negative behaviors. It's like if we invited Chris Brown to a catfish episode because somebody said they were Chris Brown. Just, yeah, I mean, people have finessed the catfish guys before too, to
Yeah,
like just do it just to get like a free plane ticket out of them or something like that, just to
yeah,
meet the person they're dating and shit. Like, oh, I don't know who this is.
yeah.
Boom, free plane ticket. Now we get to meet. Thanks, Neve.
Thanks, Neef.
Stuff catfish stuff be kind of funny. It's like, how did you not know?
Well,
I
sometimes
swear they just be doing it just to be famous, just to get their little fame.
yeah, it just sucks that people have to be like that.
What? Just
Just the whole,
catfishing people?
yeah, the whole concept of it, people being like that.
Well, I don't know. Sometimes people are just in very bad places with self-image, and they feel like the only way people will talk to them is if they look like somebody else.
Yeah, but still, at that same point, like,
It doesn't excuse it,
yeah, it doesn't
but
excuse it at all.
but I feel bad. I don't know. Oh yeah, so it's your turn. Tell us about tell us about the game. Tell us
Well,
what you can.
well, I told you I'm not spilling too much info. I'm just going to say that uh, I just did a full playthrough and it's story wise and everything. It runs smooth. I just gotta tweak a couple technical things, but other than that, like it's getting there. It's getting there.
How's
Uh,
it gonna be released? It's gonna be like downloadable from like a website or
yeah,
something.
I'm putting it on Steam.
Ooh,
I just have to do
you
certain.
putting it for sale? Or is it for free?
Bitch, I'm making people buy this. Like, excuse me. the amount of
Ooh,
the
how
amount
much
of
is it gonna be?
the amount of work and time and the amount of money that I had invested into this, I am definitely getting something back from it. As much as I don't really want to focus on the money aspect, to me this was a passion project. This was something that was supposed to have came out 2 years ago, but as a short film. But a
Mm,
lot of things happened, COVID and uh, certain situations that I don't really want to get into. That it just I didn't want it to die. I didn't want what I was developed because I had this in development since 2019. This has
mm,
been being written, revised, talked through, consulted with, and developed and set to be shooting from 2019 and 2020 for it to shut down in 2020 and feeling lost in like all this effort is just like what's next for it. I was like, you know what, I'm not giving up. I want this. I want what I did to be done. So I reshaped it from script all the way to the ground up. Like the script is from 2019 is still in there. I just added a bit more to make it flow as a game, and also in it, I can finally actually express it the way I want it to, unlike how I would have 2 years ago. So
the story.
yeah, the story overall, like the overall look, the
Mm.
amount of like, literally,
So it's like a story game. It's
yeah,
not like a
it,
battle game or anything, like a strategy game.
yeah,
Is it a
it's
strategy?
there is a bit of strategy to it because obviously I didn't want to just make it a story game where you're just following along and then you're just moving from point A to point B and then there's dialogue and dialogue. Like it's a video game, so you got to have some interactive element to it.
Mm.
So I created a couple. I created a mini game, and then I got a couple plug-in mini games from other people that I felt like would work for this. So I incorporated some actual game aspects to play, and there's
Mm,
dialogue choice trees and stuff along with it, but it's a story that has some interactive elements to it instead of you just pressing the same button the whole time.
hmm.
It just took a lot of
Okay.
time trying to make sure everything worked together. I'm like, is this gonna work? How's this gonna work? I shouldn't. I know this ain't gonna work. Okay, this. And I'm like, crap. Now I have to do this. Like, it was a lot, but
Mm.
it
And
it
there's
was.
mini game. How many mini games are in it?
Uh,
That is a surprise.
I'm gonna just leave it because I'm actually developing the next trailer right now. So I'll probably yeah, I'm gonna showcase. I might showcase a bit of the game games into the trailer. It might not be everything, but I did showcase one. It's like the main mini game.
Mm,
It's called Mysteries in Darkness: Tales of Mysteria. It's it's pretty fun.
mm,
I had someone beta test the whole game back in July for a lot of like kinks that I need to work out and stuff. And I'm gonna say that mini game he liked a lot because I just the ones that are new I just added in recently, but that one Tales of Mysteria that really um, that really got him because like it's a change of pace to the overall thing without trying to give away too much. Uh, and I took a lot of inspiration from another game that I like to play, but instead of having the mechanics of that game, I just tweaked it to where it could work for me and efficiently. So it's going to be fun. I don't know. You probably no, you probably haven't seen the second trailer, because that second trailer that I put out back in July focused heavily on um that gameplay because it feels like a different game.
oh, really?
Yeah,
Because yeah, I don't know. I don't think that did the first trailer have a lot of gameplay in it.
the
I kind of
first
felt like it was. Yeah.
the first trailer was a lot more on just introducing the game. Like, hey, this is what
Hmm.
it looks like. These are the characters. This is like what it's about and who's involved. That's all that was. And that's why it was long as it was. Like 3 minutes, which some trailers are usually like that anyway. It was the story trailer, basically. Most story trailers are like 3 4 minutes long. So
Yeah. Exactly.
that was my announcement and
Okay. And you had
showing off
another
the
trailer since
story.
then.
And I had another trailer come out in July that showcased the mini game that was inside of it. That, like I said, it feels like its own game, but you're playing. I mean, some of the parts of the mini game incorporate to the rest of it, but it was like it could I could sell it as its own thing if I wanted to,
Mm. Okay. So
or at least the story
how much are we talking?
for the game itself.
Hmm.
Uh,
You
I'm
even want to know?
I'm just gonna have to just let people find out when it gets on Steam.
Mm.
But it's
Mm.
but the game is however you play it, it still clocks at 2 to 3 hours.
Mm. You
So
didn't try to speed run it.
no, you can't speed run this. It's set up to where you can't speed run. But there is one game, the mini game though. If I sold it as its own game, you could probably try to speed run it. But
Mm.
you won't be having some good effort though, because uh,
You've seen people speed run American Dad?
the show
Yes.
that's that's too extra.
Exactly. You said it's unspeedrunnable. I'm like, damn, he just set out a challenge. Now his game
No,
is gonna be notorious for being speed ran.
no, I wouldn't say it like that. but I played it enough to where I know like the mini game itself is about timing. It at its core, it's about timing and making sure you move when you need, well, like at this precise point to get past certain things before it's like, all right, if I'm a little late on my timing, I'm screwed over, and I gotta really try and find out like how am I gonna do this um because like the mini game itself, Tales of Mysteria, it's it's a maze, it's a dungeon crawl. So you're in the dungeon, but it's dark. But everything around you is dark except for like a visibility around your character. So
Mm, okay.
and there's monsters throughout each floor, and if the monster catches you, it's game over. Or in a sense, I set it up to where you restart from the beginning, and it gets challenging
Mm,
each floor you go. And it's not like, okay, I found the exit floor, on to the next floor. No, throughout each floor, you have to collect 3 gate gears to get past to the next one. So if you don't have all 3 gate gears, you can't go to the next floor until you have all three.
mm, okay. And you had to search and not get caught by the monster. That's
Yeah,
the whole time.
yep,
Is it like a
monsters.
maze looking?
It's
Is
a
it like a
dungeon.
maze?
It's a dungeon maze.
Oh my god.
So
So it
each
looks like
floor,
Doom. It
so
looks like Doom.
not first person.
No.
It's not. Yeah, it's not first person, but
Okay.
it's a maze, and
I'm just glad I
each
used that reference correctly.
but yeah, you got to travel through, and if you get caught, say if you are on the second floor and you got caught, back to the first floor you go.
Mhm,
You got to keep going.
mhm, mhm,
I already have an idea, um, for my next game where it's, like how I said moments ago that I could sell
mhm.
that game as its own thing. So I have a concept in mind that I'm developing, and
Okay, what is it?
that's all I'm gonna say.
Are
I
you
can't.
waiting?
That's all I'm gonna say. I can't spoil everything. You gotta wait.
Tell us now.
You gotta wait. Can't just.
Demand you tell.
I'll say enough to where it's not like it's like I ain't like giving away too much. Like to me, what I like everything that I just said is enough to satisfy a person, but at the same
Mm-hmm.
time, I gave you no information.
And nothing. You told us nothing.
I told you something to where you can be like, "Oh, okay, that's cool," but at the same time, I didn't give away anything.
Mm. Okay.
So
I see.
it's still to a point where it's like, all right, you still got to play it to understand. I'll probably once the game launches, moments later, I'll probably do a playthrough for people that don't play and just want to like watch and then be like, I want to experience it myself or something. I don't know. I haven't thought about it yet, or I haven't.
Playthrough.
Yeah,
What?
it's like two. Yeah, it's like 2 3 hours. Clocking that. It could be more if you mess up during the mini game a lot, but
The mini game is the dungeon.
yeah, the main one, because that's the one that got a trailer for it.
Nice. And then there's a whole lot of story. So is it like I'm picturing like Pokemon roaming story? Is that not a thing?
No, that is a thing, but it's not this this game. There's a lot of gameplay where it's fixed based, like okay, you're going to do this, and then it's going to take you to this location. But there is a certain
Mm-hmm.
point where it becomes not open world, but you can free roam around because there's something that in the game that you have to do that requires you to explore. And um, that to me was just like, all right, just instead of having it like a fixed linear structure, like here's a moment where you can take the time to just look around and like see things and stuff like that, while also following whatever the story's moment is in to do. And it's pretty cool. My friend who played it, he said it was crazy because it's the whole entire like map is my college. Because originally my original story was set on the college, one for saving budget purposes and having to not like drag people around to like different locations around the state or the city and crap.
Mhm.
So it's just like, all right, everything is just set on campus. So I framed the entire story around it. And
Mm.
when COVID hit, and obviously we're not allowed back, and I graduated, so there's no reason for me to go back there now. I'm like, all right, you know what? Like having it as a game, it made me easier to still be able to replicate it and do
Mhm.
what the story was instead of me trying to have to reframe this whole thing. Because there came a time I personally was like, crap, I might have to redo this story all over again. I can't set it at the college because I can't shoot it there. I have to get permission or, like have things set up. And it's like, there's no point in doing all that. But having it be this now gave me that opportunity to, instead of reworking, like having to rewrite and change the whole story over, I was still able to do that and more. So it's pretty cool.
Mm.
I feel like everything in life just happens at the moment that it's supposed to, and for me, this definitely was it. Because for a good minute, I was lost trying to figure out this, and what it is now is exactly what I
Mm.
wanted, and I'm happy about it.
That is good. So it's like COVID was a good thing. That's what you just said, ladies
No, it was definitely not a good thing at all, but to bring something good out of it, I would say it's this. Because if COVID didn't happen and the production went through, I I feel like I wouldn't be as proud of it as I am now.
gentlemen. Mm. That's deep.
Yeah, this is something I can. Uh, I haven't said this yet because I was gonna post about it when it launched. But like, if
Mm-hmm.
like after this is done, like if this was meant to be like Deshaun's last creative idea, last like production, last anything in regards of like doing what people know that I love doing, which is creating stories and like finding different ways to like get things out there. Like if this was to be my last thing before, say if I was to die or I just quit and gave up and moved on with life to like some rinky dink shitty thing, like I would be proud that this was my last thing. Like I've done other things before, but like
Mm-hmm.
this was big. And if I was to die the next day after this launched, I'd be okay with that because I got out there what I wanted.
Mm. I hear that.
So it's exciting. It's crazy. Two less
Hey,
than two
that's cool.
months. Less than 2 months. And I'm
But what
like,
about your first thing?
what's the first thing?
You made it your first thing. Like, well, not your last thing, but you said it was, might be your last thing. What if it was like just the beginning? Just the beginning.
Oh no, like I'm not saying it's my last. Obviously, I got a whole bunch of other things in the pipeline, but I was what if? But this is like a what if scenario. Like, say if there's another universe out there where I did say this was my last
Mm-hmm.
thing, and that was because I died the next day, or a universe out
Mm.
there where I decided to just give up and go rinky dink and just do the typical 9 to 5 and not be happy with my life anymore. Like if that was the case and this was my last thing I ever decided to do creatively, I'd be proud of it. But this is a universe where I don't do that. This is the start.
Mm-hmm.
I got more ideas just coming from out the wazoo that I'm going to be working on. Well, I have started working on, but I'm not going to give it its full attention until this is done. Because I got two children's books coming out that are tying in with this. I was supposed to have two other things come out. Well, three other things, but timing and one of them I had put my trust in someone to help me get done, and they never put their end of the bargain, so I have to rework that for next year. Well, all of them are
Mm.
being reworked for next year, but one of them was like, uh, that was a disappointment that I'm like, you know what? It's a lesson learned. I'll do it myself.
Damn, yeah. You got to. You got to. It was like a party. It was like a little mini game or something again.
No, so the entire thing would have been back in August. I was gonna launch, the whole clothing line thing, like just doing like different collections of designs and stuff like that. That didn't happen yet
Mm-hmm.
because that was supposed to launch, and then I would have had a tie-in collection for the game's launch, so it's exclusive. Like, all right, you only got like 2 weeks to do this and stuff, and that didn't happen because the person I'm working with. I mean, I get it, life and all that stuff, but
Mm-hmm.
uh, it felt like I was going 90-10, 90%, and the other person 10%. So I'm
Mm-hmm.
like, you know what? I'm going to just fall back. I got too much now that's coming out all at once. Let me just take it a step at a time. So the game is the main focus. The two children's books, they're a main focus because I wanted them to come out. I was going to have another book.
Mm-hmm.
I was going to have two other books come out um, with two different mediums that were going to basically it was different mediums to fill in the rest of the story that was not shown in the game, or at least stretch out more. But I'll push it to next year because I got to focus on the two books in this for in the game first. Those three things I at least. So it's a lot, but I chose to go all out because, like I said, if this was to be my last, I want to be proud of it. And even if not everything's coming out all at once like I had planned last year, it it's still coming out. It's still on the way. It's still a works, and it's almost there. It's almost there. It's just time. It's just time. Just time's going too fast. I have 4 days off, and I'm sitting here,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm like, damn, what did I do? But then again, yesterday I solved like the biggest problem that I had to solve for this game, and it finally worked. And I just did a
Mm-hmm.
playthrough of it fully, and it worked. So I'm like, all right, that is a big milestone for me because that was like the hugest thing I had to solve. Now it's just combing
Mm-hmm.
out all the small things like text issues or any like just design choices I could redesign and crap. But other than that, like the game is there. It's in the alpha stage now. It's getting ready. It was in the beta stage like 2 months ago. Now it's in the alpha. We there. That's all that matters to me. We're there. I just gotta
I
pay.
can't wait. I can't wait to play it.
I just gotta fucking pay the. It's $100 application fee to submit the game to on Steam.
Oh, yeah. Wow.
It's
That's
crazy.
it.
Yeah, I mean that's to me that like
You can submit
yeah,
anything,
yeah,
or they
you
still
could.
have to approve.
Well, no, you can submit any game as long as it doesn't promote, like pornography or like any of the things that you shouldn't be posting. That's basically what they say. Don't try to submit in here. But you could submit whatever, like any game. Like you could create a game and you can put it on Steam. You just got to pay $100 to
Mm-hmm.
put it on there.
Okay,
So
that's pretty cool.
yeah. So it's pretty fire. It's pretty dope. Get to that point now.
I'm just like, I don't know. I guess like, and does it start to go through like a committee, or they just allow it on after you pay the $100? Figured like they would have to like wait and play it themselves or something, right? And make sure all that shit's not on there, or they
No,
just wait till it gets reported.
no, yeah, they would just wait until it gets reported. Like you could put, um, like I said, that like it's it's a they do it does go through a process, but um, it's not like oh like what you just said like moments ago.
There is a process. Okay, good, good.
Yeah,
And
it's
how
not
long
like
is the process?
I'm not sure. I'm about to check right now. Make your Yep, there's $100 fee per game you want to upload. Fill out any additional information. You agree to the terms. Blah blah blah. Obviously, you pay your thing. Oh, you get Steam points for that too. That's great. You get Steam points for uploading your game. So, and it takes you to the dashboard where you set up like your costs and how everything looks. And it's gonna be unpublished until you publish it. Description. Include some screenshots of your game, a header image, background image, caption images that will be used throughout the cinematic. You can drag and drop images, trailers, special features. Click previews, publish.
Oh my
Lets you
god,
publish
bro!
all the changes you have made.
I forgot who you were for like a split second.
How high are you?
No, I just zoned out. I just zoned out. I'm playing this monkey game, this Bloons Tower Defense game, and I'm zoned back in. I'm like, why does he sound like air? You sound like air for a second.
Hello there.
Just a second.
Hello there. Hello there.
Different.
How?
Did I tell you? So, all right. So there was this one time. I think it was like a couple months ago now. I was telling QJ and everybody else. So he tweets. Basically, I forgot what the tweet specifically said, but it was basically he was like how he was basically considering joining like the porn industry just so he could have sex and all that stuff. So I responded with a meme saying, like you know the bonk meme, or it's like no
that?
horny. Like you ever seen that meme, the bonk meme?
Oh, like he's too horny for this, basically.
Yeah,
He's too horny.
yeah. So I sent him a meme basically saying that, and he got mad and he said, "I'm asking non-cis het men or people, or
Mm-hmm.
whatever he said," and I was like, "What? You didn't specify that at all." And I just sent you a meme just in response as as a fun as a fun joke, but you taking this man serious, sir?
Nah, not even that. Just what? The whole cis men thing. Like that's what the fuck is that about?
I don't know. I'm not
What the
bothering.
like that's crazy in and of itself. Yeah, yeah. His identity. His identity is I
Clear.
don't know a lesbian white girl.
Hey yo, chill,
But
chill.
like I mean I don't know. It's just yeah I don't know. People take. I mean he came from an all boys school, so I just feel like he took a very strong stance on femininity. I'm getting a Fujifilm X-T3.
What is that
It's a camera.
kind of camera?
Yeah.
Said
It's a camera.
said Fuji. Oh, Fuji. Got it. Got it. No, I now know. It's just you saying it just it doesn't sound real. It sounds like a knockoff brand, but I know what Fuji is.
What the hell?
I know what Fuji
What the
is, but
hell?
it's
That's
just
so racist, bro.
it's
Like
not
that's
racist. It's not racist. It's just like it just doesn't sound like it's a word that just doesn't sound like it should be a word. Like you ever had that moment where you said a word or you read a word and it's like, how is that a word? Is this real?
Yeah, you have one of those moments.
Yeah, plenty of
The word
time. Like
Fuji. Like he's trying to say Fiji water.
Like the fuck is a Fuji?
What
It
are
does
you
sound
talking
of when you say Fuji, it sounds like a knockoff Fiji water.
about?
It does sound like a knockoff Fiji water. Like what is or it reminds me of Fubu, even though that's an actual brand, but still, just like what are you wearing, Fubu? Like wh- who's what name is there? Is there any like yeah? There's a flex for wearing Fubu. Like no offense to people that wear Fubu. Like I get it. I don't care, but it's just like the
But
name.
Fubu was before your time.
It's just the
That's what
name.
it is.
It's just the name. I know.
Fubu.
Yeah.
Fubu
It just
was that
seems.
shit.
It just sounds funny.
I wish Fubu was popular now. I could wear me
Nah.
some Fubu. You crazy?
No, you could wear Fubu all you want, bro.
I don't actually know what Fubu looks like.
You don't know what Fubu looks like, and you saying, "Yo, you would rock it." It could be a strap
Yeah, I
on.
got some
It could be a strap
Fubu.
on, and you'd be like, "Yeah, I'll rock that." And you're like,
Well,
all right, bro.
we didn't go
Okay."
that far. Okay, we didn't. We ain't doing
Nah, nah.
all of
You
that.
have to go that far because then you know that whether you're a ride or die for that brand. See if night.
I'm telling niggas what they have to do now. It's ridiculous.
You gotta be a ride or
What
die
is
for your
he, the white
brand.
man? He said, "You niggas must dance. You must dance for me." Maybe I'm just make my own Fubu. Just spell it. It's gonna be a knockoff Fubu with four O's
4-0. See, exactly. That sounds like something
in it.
that probably exists.
Something with four O's.
Yeah,
Like
Fubu. You
FOLBOO.
get that at the flea market. Get that at the flea
I wonder
market,
how
and they'll
many
be like, "Yo,
people
this is limited
thought that's how
edition."
Fubu was spelled before I just said that.
They
There's gotta
probably
be a few people.
no, they probably rocking the actual like the Fubu brand. FOOBOO right at the flea market. Dude selling it said, "Yeah, this is top tier, straight off the designer." You're like, "Yo, man, that's fire, bro." Yeah,
Yeah, bro, don't sleep on me, man.
I'll be getting you the stuff. I'll be finding the deals, sir. I'll be getting it straight off the freighter, straight from China. Where? Yeah, I didn't know they were stationed out in China. Yeah, it makes the cost a lot cheaper to make, so makes it easier for you to get some expensive things, sir. Especially
That's
from
what
me.
happens when you write dialogue all day. You can just talk to yourself and your other self for hours.
I can
Like
create.
this man is seamlessly creating these conversations.
Yeah, I trust me. I can create half of these conversations that I come up with become ideas for stuff. So,
Wait,
D,
did you already ask me that question that your friend asked you what you wanted me to answer?
yes,
Like you,
I did.
yeah, you
That
sure?
yeah,
There wasn't another one.
no, that'll be last. That was last episode.
No, last episode.
Yep.
Oh man, I be trying to call Brandon. That man don't be he don't be on phones. Or
hmm
he always be busy. He got like 6 jobs.
What is he doing now?
Works in the hospital.
Oh
I
yeah,
don't know
that
what he
no,
works at.
no. You said hospital. That's all I need to know. That I have a couple nurse friends. That's all they do. That's all the time that they got for. So I
Uh,
I completely understand the situation.
but yeah, exactly. Other jobs on top of that, like
Well, I don't
it's
know.
actually crazy.
Him doing other jobs on top of a hospital job. I don't know what his expenses are that he has to have it like that.
Credit cards. Credit
And see,
cards.
I hope he ain't
He's getting
maxed.
himself out of credit card debt.
How much credit card debt is he in?
Mm-hmm. I think he's working. He's on a better side of it now, though.
That's good.
Yeah.
Well, this is coming from a guy that has like 5 of them, but I have them all under reins. I just got, I just got this. I'm just waiting for.
What?
Oh, here's another question. Do you have student debt at all, James?
Yes.
How much?
Didn't it come? It's October. It should have came already.
No, the application ain't start yet. I'm it. I think next week.
Mm,
Next week is when the app it's sometime in October, but it should be soon because they just rolled out an email showing us a preview of what it's gonna look like, and it's on Twitter too.
mm.
Um, it's a pretty simple application. Uh,
Okay.
so like
You had
all
to have the like income based payment plan thing going on
no
because it
go ahead.
and it's with the schools. It's not with the loan people, is it? Like the
No,
people you got a loan from.
whatever student debt that you have, as long as it's not a private loan. So if it's a government based loan, so say like financial aid, you got any money from financial aid, like
Mm-hmm.
unsubsidized, subsidized loans, that sort of thing, that like that was provided to you by the government to attend college, that that will be like loan forgiveness and stuff like that. But say if you pulled out a
Mm,
private loan from like a bank or whatever, it won't qualify. It's just
okay.
yeah, it's just financial aid stuff. So yeah, so the application will be soon. It's pretty simple. It's just ask for your name, phone number, email, uh, like the basic general things, and then once you submit it around December, it should take effect into your account. So it'll immediately take off whatever you qualify for. So you can qualify for 10 grand, you can qualify for 20. Uh, the only way you know that you qualify for 20 is if you ever gotten the Pell Grant at least once throughout your years in college.
Okay.
Yeah, so I would double check if you got any, if you ever earned the Pell Grant. Like it don't matter how
I
much
don't
you
know how much school debt I have. I feel like all my debt is private loan debt. Like I don't know.
did.
I can
Have
go
you
sue
ever
Penn State
have you
for
ever
like
filled out FAFSA?
yeah.
Yeah.
That's the
So
thing. I paid off a lot of my debt, but I don't know. We'll see.
no, you got to have you. When's the last time you ever logged into your student loan portal or FAFSA or whatever?
It's been a while.
You might want to. You might want to do that. Whatever password or profile you set up for your FAFSA, it's the same profile, password, and
Mm,
stuff. So all you do is just log in, and it's going to pull up your entire information for your like how many loans that, how much student loans you took out, what grants did you earn, and what your
mm,
balance is, and then you'll know from like you can subtract from there once you submit the application. So, say if they say, "Oh, you qualify for 10 grand and you owe like say 34," so that 34 is now going to be 24,000. Or say if you had gotten the Pell, and it also that profile is going to tell you if you earned the Pell Grant at all. So then that way you'll know that they're going to tell you that you qualify for 20 grand, and then that 34,000 is just going to be 14,000. So I would definitely log in and check and see, because then you can also know because you can also pay that way too, but also um, it's a great way to keep track of your balance and like being able to like have a clear breakdown of what your balance is and why and what your interest rates are, because a lot of the loans that you take out, especially depending on how many years you've been at school, It's not like one. It's a one lump
Okay,
sum
so I have to
total.
log in. Application is that? Let's say, does the application fall into there too? Like on
Uh,
that same website?
I believe so. But I get I signed up for notifications, so they'll let me know through email when it launches, and they're going to send me a link for it. So, but I believe you should be able to log into there and fill out an application
Mm,
because it's still run by them. So they're just running your thing, and the only thing that they'll ask you if needed is any update. Like if they don't have your updated like taxes or like your current job wage, like how much you're working for how much a year. Um, if they don't have that, they'll just ask you for that, so they at least can calculate and be like, okay, because the only people that qualify for this stuff is those that basically don't make
mm-hmm,
125,000 a year, which majority of us don't. So I barely
mm-hmm.
make 20 grand a year so far.
Oh damn.
Yeah. It,
Yeah, but I hear
but it's been working enough to get done the things that I need to do. But at the same time, like I ain't staying here long. This is one
mm,
day next year might be it, or so. Who knows?
one day next year might be for what? When
Working at
it's on?
no working this current job that I'm doing. I'm talking about my job. What I do for work
Um,
outside of things that I
oh
do.
yeah, you might be done with it.
Yeah, this was just to help me get back on my feet and actually get this done. And then next year it's
Yeah,
more on plot
why don't
plotting.
you sell professional level Etsy jewelry and just get the plugs and just start flipping them?
Because everybody
It's a
does
good
that.
thing.
It's an
Mm.
oversaturated
But you do it
market.
with diamonds. You do it with diamonds though.
No, I don't do jewelry. Remember, we had this discussion before. No,
For
I'm
the
not doing it.
dollars. For the
I'm not doing it.
dollars. Blue collar.
It's a lot harder
For the
than you think,
dollars.
but I'm good. I'm not
What?
doing it. It's a lot complicated process than you think, but I'm not doing that. I don't,
Oh,
I'm
you just haven't told me how complicated it is. I expect it to be complicated.
I explained this to you last time you mentioned this.
Did you?
Yeah, I did.
You made it. Must have made it sound easy.
No, I said it's complicated. It's a complicated process. You could do it, but I have no interest and I don't want to do any of that stuff. But anyway, yeah. So the application runs for a year, but they
Yeah.
want everybody like, hey, if you really want that money off, try to fill it out as soon as possible because it takes about 4 to 6 weeks um,
Mm.
to to take effect. Some of them
Oh
actually got it.
damn.
Some of them can be instantly, but it just depends on the person. So, and then say if you had paid off anything within the last 2 years during COVID, like say if you had put like